Well, I attempted to go live a little earlier, but had to reset the phone, reset the Wi-Fi. Still ain't quite figured out what the reset button is on the dog, but is what it is. Today is day 12. I know last night I was like, day 12, today is day 12. I was ahead of the game. Kind of try to slip a day in there. So, I finally got to catch up on all my messages and comments and everything on Facebook and TikTok, and I don't know, ain't much on Instagram. I don't quite like it. But anyway, there was a few that stuck out to me on TikTok. I'm not going to say no names because, you know, they're sharing their stories with me, and I didn't realize that by me doing this, it was going to reach out to anybody. But apparently it has, and I'm grateful that, you know, I can share my story, my journey, and I've actually, I don't like calling it, it's not a following, it's other people going through the same stuff that I am. But one right offhand really stuck out to me because, I mean, he's a lot younger than me. You know, he's late 20s, we'll say that. But he started when he was a teenager. And, you know, I know in the beginning, even probably during my drunken videos, I've probably mentioned it, but just for the sake of him and what he shared with me today, I figured I would go back and kind of start from the beginning. You know, my unfortunate journey down the road of alcoholism. You know, he started when he was, you know, late teens and struggling with it now after almost 10 plus years. And made the comment that, you know, he don't even know how to, you know, normal is after he's been drinking, which for all of us that's been there, God knows, you know, I'm even now, you know, I turned 50 in July, and now that I started this road of sobriety without the alcohol and stuff, I struggle at times just trying to, with good friends that I talk to all the time, I guess, be normal or, you know, be myself without the alcohol. So I know where he's coming from. But for anybody that's not seen or heard the story or whatever, you know, again, forgive me for, you know, saying this all over again for the people who have seen it, but, you know, I started my first drop of alcohol and first time ever getting completely drunk, I was 15. And it went with a girl I was dating and her friends to some big birthday party. I didn't know anybody but the people I was with. And, you know, at first it didn't seem like it was a big deal. But once I got my license, you know, then it was, you know, I could go anywhere I wanted to find somebody to go get the alcohol for me. As, you know, if I had the money, it didn't take 15, 20 minutes and I'd have whatever alcohol I wanted. And, you know, I remember, you know, family throwing big 4th of July parties and stuff. And, you know, 16, 17 years old, 18, whatever. And pulling up where all the adults, all the family, my grandparents, because it was usually at their house. My nose is running. Chat, sorry. But, you know, it didn't matter my age. At that point, I worked, had my own car, paid for everything myself, you know. Other than having a bedroom at mom and dad's, I basically did what I wanted, and, you know, nobody would ever tell me different. You know, I just did what I wanted. Not saying that was a good thing, but, you know, that's where the problem with alcohol started. You know, unfortunately, one side of my family, addiction, alcoholism, it just runs rampant. You know, all the way from us when we were younger to some of the older people. You know, it just depended on how good you could hide it. You know, but probably, I mean, I remember a cousin of me always going out and drinking, and I mean, if I wasn't getting the alcohol for us, he could get the alcohol for us, and how we're still here today and didn't end up in some bad accident or something, I'll never know, by the grace of God, because that's the only way that we didn't get killed. But the whole point of me bringing that up is that young guy that shared his story with me, it just made me think that that's when mine started, you know, especially probably 17 and 18. I was getting alcohol every weekend. I was still working. At one point, still going to school, but it wasn't uncommon to have a cooler with, you know, full of beer or whatever in the back of my car as I'm sitting in school. And, you know, you're young like it, you don't ever think about that stuff. But that's when mine started. And then, you know, I got in the military. And anybody who's ever served or has served, you know, I'm not saying everybody does it, but a lot of people that I know, and a lot of people I served with, you know, a lot of drinking went on in the military. And I've come to find out, now that I started sharing my story, that of all the guys that I served with, not only stateside, but even overseas with, you know, apparently when they got home and, you know, they struggled with it and stuff. So, but again, it was the norm, you know. We did what we were supposed to, but when it was our time, we did, you know, the drinking was there. You know, I've struggled, you know, for people that don't know, I've struggled with drugs also. I've had bad addiction to painkillers. Thankfully, I've been off them for, I mean, I've relapsed once in 15 years, and since that relapse on painkillers, it's been probably 10 years or more since I've had a painkiller. I am on medicine to help me with that, but I'll never go back to painkillers, and that's my goal with the drinking, is never to go back to the drinking. Sorry for anybody saying something, I got my glasses off. But, so, you know, and alcohol has always been, in my eyes, worse than any other drug or anything, because it's always accessible. And unfortunately, with a young guy that shared his story with me, you know, I feel for him, because I don't know him other than online, but it just seems like maybe he don't have a lot of support. And yes, you know, I don't have a lot of support, like physically sitting here in the house with me, but since I've started sharing this story and sharing it online every night and everything, I've got an outrageous amount of support online from friends, family, and now from people that, you know, I guess you would call my online friends, because I've never met them, but, you know, there's quite a few of them that every video they post something, or every other video they post something, you know. But I hope the young guy, I hope he sees this video, and I hope he reaches out, because one, I've been there at his age, going through the same shit, and it's not easy, you know, especially when you're young. And, you know, the part about him not knowing how to act, you know, normal without having alcohol in him. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to figure that out now. You know, it's crazy to think what just a year of just constantly sinking your head in a bottle. Keep looking to see what the dog's doing. But, you know, what a year does after sinking your head in a bottle. And then, you know, I know a lot of people, we always call it liquid courage, I guess. And, and that's what it is. I mean, that's one of many things you can call it. But I know where the kid's coming from. Not a kid, but he is to me, because he's a lot younger than I am, so, but I know where the young man's coming from, so I hope he sees this, and I hope he reaches out and talks more, not just comments on videos, you know, but, glasses got a lens that keeps popping out, so screw it, I can't see very well, but, yeah, and there's another guy who reached out also, who's struggling, you know, he's in his early phase, and, you know, I wish him the best too, and I hope he sees this, and here's, you know, the story of where it all started. I mean, I was going through some things this morning, and realized that it was actually closer to 8 years that I had without a drop of alcohol. And really, there wasn't nothing that happened that I can say, oh, the stress got me and I just said, screw it, I'm an adult, I can make my own choice, and just started drinking, which was the dumbest flipping thing I could have done. And I can't, it's disgusting to think about, one, the money I threw away, and two, just the relationships, the financial strain that it's put me in, just, you know, kudos to the people who can have a drink and put it down and not do it again. Not me. And so, I don't know how well the Wi-Fi's doing, but, yeah, I wanted to share that, and I hope both of you guys see it, but it's amazing to me how many people who have reached out, mainly on TikTok, but that are going through, you know, the same journey as me, that may have either a few more weeks than me, or same time as me, or like these guys, you know, less time than me. So I'm grateful for everyone that shares their stories, and I don't know where this is going to go. All I know that I'm going to keep doing it, because if I do screw up, I'm going to get on here and tell on myself, if that's, you know, I guess that'd be the way to say it, and be held accountable by the people that are supporting me, you know. I mean, I know it ain't like they're going to put up my ass, but might as well. But I'm not even thinking about that, because I don't want to go back down that road. So, I may have done a little bit of rambling. My mind's been racing all day. Been bored, not bored, just so much shit going on and driving me crazy, but I'm alright. And plus I know there's people that I can reach out to, so yeah. I don't know who you want me to bring on camera, because there ain't nobody here to bring on camera. It's just me and the dog. And anybody that don't know my dog, he's not one that likes to be picked up. You can only pet him 3 times before he tries to bite you. So, and that's me. And I'm the only one that lives with him. So he's crazy. But I don't know, maybe once I get further along into this and better Wi-Fi and learn how to do this crap a lot better, that, you know, and start doing it on other platforms. I got my laptop and I got other stuff that I can do, you know, live shit on. So, you know, maybe start doing it with more people instead of just me looking at the camera and everybody looking back at my ugly face. So, but yeah, it made me feel good that there was people that, I don't know, I lack of a better way to say it, kind of looking up to me and my progress, which I never intended, but I guess if it helps one person, even one person, then good. I've done something right in my life, so. I don't know. So yeah, that's my ramble. I think that's about it. So thank you to everybody that has commented, and I'm going to try to get on here earlier tomorrow. I know I keep saying that, but I was dead set on doing it before 9, and then I had to reset everything, and I don't know, excuse after excuse. But hey, I'm sober and it's 12 days, so tomorrow is the lucky 13. Let's see how it goes. It don't matter how it goes, I'll be sober, so. Slow connection. Fuck off. I'm so sick of the Wi-Fi. Alright, I'm done rambling. Thank everybody for supporting me. Love you guys. And till tomorrow. I think I'm going to start doing like I did today and doing a check-in during the day also. About whatever. Just because I can. Alright. Good night. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Good night.